J2Measure is a graphical modelling tool that allows you to measure lengths, angles and areas of vector drawings. The following video will briefly outline the tools and how to use them. I've drawn some shapes on the page that we can measure by drag selecting them and ticking Show Lengths and Show Angles. The measurements appear which we can highlight by changing the colour and size of the text as shown. J2Measure comes with 4 tools that we could use to measure these shapes in different ways. I will now hide these measurements and use my caliper tool to measure the length of the line. As you can see, we get the same result as before. I could also use my ruler. I can now use the angle measuring tool to measure the angle of my triangle. Or I could use a protractor. If I want more information about my shapes, in particular the rectangle, I can use the area measurements window. This displays the perimeter, area, the overlapped area by other shapes and the free space of the rectangle. I could convert these units like so. To demonstrate this further, I will draw a triangle over the top of this rectangle. As you can see, my triangle has half the area of the rectangle, and now the overlapped area and free space is the same as the triangle. If I move my triangle out and away from the rectangle, the values change until eventually it's no longer overlapping. J2Measure's scale drawing feature allows you to model a real-life situation by using a map to calculate areas and distances. Using the scale drawing dialog, I can make any measurements on this document appear in the scale drawing units. I could simply choose to use the grid for my scale drawing, where every one square of the grid equals the value units set in these 2 controls. However, for this demonstration, I will choose to use a custom scale. I will drag a map of London onto the page and resize it. Now selecting the custom scale option, I will draw a caliper over the scale of the map. And set the units that this represents here. I can now use the caliper tool to get an estimate of the length of the mall. Just over 1 kilometre. And I can see that by converting these units. Now I'm going to estimate the area of St James's Park, which is enclosed by the roads. To do this, I will use the shape tool to draw along the roads around the park, showing the lengths. I can now use the area window to calculate the area and convert these units like so. To get a better estimate of this, I can update my path to better follow the roads, and these values will change the area on the window. I'll continue doing this until I'm happy with my shape.